Hey y'all, I'm gonna wait a couple more seconds for a few more people. Y'all can look at this pretty quilt I just finished quilting. Hi, hello. Oh, my sister's on. Everyone say hi to my sister. My sister's Periscope is at Laurel Rhymes, so everyone say hi to my sister. So I just want to, well, I just finished quilting this, but, I've been playing in the snow all day, so, ignore me. I'm going to have y'all look at my quilt. I long arm quilt for people, and if you follow me before, I quilt on a gamble, if anyone wants to know. She never believes me. Make her watch this, Berry Barn Designs, and you can blame it all on me. So, I long arm quilt for people, and I get the question a lot of, how many inches, how many extra. I love the dragonflies. Isn't that cute? It was a cute panel. I mean, it's been from when we had our shop, and we closed our shop like 4 years ago. So this was a shop sample that there was a cute panel, and then all these coordinating fabrics. I think it's Moda. It looks like Moda to me. It's real cute, but we sold the fabric before we could ever get it quilted, so I just quilted it now. But anyway, so I get the question a lot of why long armers asks for so much extra inches for the long arm, and so I thought I would just do a quick scope real quick to kind of explain why, because some people might have never seen a long arm, or they just think that long armers are crazy and they want us to spend more money, which is not true. So the reason why we ask for so many extra inches, and I usually say 4 inches around each side, so like 8 extra inches total, and because you don't want a lot extra, I don't want 20 inches extra on each side. I mean, the length doesn't really matter, but like width-wise, I don't want to have, my quilt's top stops here. I don't want to have all the backing fabric go to here, because then it almost gets too flimsy. So usually 4 to 5 inches on each side is pretty good. And the reason why we want that on each side is because long armers use clamps to hold the quilts tight, and I've got this kind of loose right now because I was going to show you. But so like I have a clamp, or I use 2. I have this clamp here that looks like a chip clip kind of, and you can see how wide it is. That's probably a good inch and a half, and it clamps on my quilt. I get the, I'm not doing this right because I'm doing it one-handed, but it gets it here. It gets the batting and the backing, usually both, if your batting's the same size, which I try to do. But I'll do that on both sides of the quilt, because this will help keep it tight, which allows me to help keep it square and as straight as I can when it's on here. So that's why we ask for so many inches, because these clamps get in the way. And then you can see here, which, hold on, this is difficult one-handed. Hold on, y'all, sorry. Hold on. Face it this way so you don't get dizzy, but let me show you. And then the reason why, well, then you could say, oh, well, you only need an extra inch or so on the side. If my machine, my throat's underneath here, which you can't see it, but you can see when this is where my throat stops. So in order to get all the way over here, if it was any closer, like if the quilt top was even like a ½ inch closer, it'll hit the clip and then make the clip fall off. Does that make sense? So that's why we ask for so many inches on each side. So because then if I'm quilting along and then it bumps the clip, it makes it shake on the quilt top, which will show. So that's why we ask for so many inches on the side. Do long armers square it up when they finish, or do they send it with all the extra? It depends. What I do is because squaring it up and trimming the quilt at the end, it takes time, especially if the quilt top wasn't as square to begin with. I try to keep it as square as I can when it's on the frame while I'm quilting it. And then I do charge, but depending on the side, I charge to square it up afterwards. But most, I only have a few people that I square up and trim the quilt afterwards, but some long armers might do that for free, I'm just really busy, and so if you want me to square it up, I charge. But each long armor is different. Make sure you ask that before you send them a quilt, because they might just say, oh yeah, sure, it's included. But I don't unless you ask for it, and then I charge. I don't charge very much. Like I charge $10 to trim a baby quilt, and then it goes up from there. So I don't charge very much, but it is, you know, it does take me a good 30 minutes per quilt, depending on how big, and depending on how square the quilt top is. So that is a good question. Oh, and here's Gibby. Hi, Gibby. So that answers, let's see, that explains why we need, here, I can take these clips off. That explains why long armors ask for extra fabric on the back, on the sides, why we need extra fabric on the top and the bottom, which it's not as important. Like, I don't need so many for that, but these are the 2 bars that I load my quilt top, or load the backing to, and it's a thick canvas material. I don't know if you can tell that it's thick. And then it has this, it's about 1 inch folded over, and that's where I pin the backing to. So that is why we ask for a couple, you know, 4 to 5 inches again, so you can see. Oh, my mom just joined. Hi, Mom. So you can see why why any long armor would ask for extra inches there, because this is about, oh, and my dad. Hi, everyone. Oh, my whole family's on. So that is why we ask for extra, you know, extra inches lengthwise as well, because you'll lose a good 2 inches because the top part too is the same thickness. You can see it right there. I haven't unrolled it yet, but so you'll see that that's 1 inch thickness, and plus allowing room for us to square it up and keep it lined up is good too. So yeah, I just used your chain cutter like crazy. Oh, good. I'm so glad. That's awesome, Snug Bear. And then the same reasoning for, so floppy, hold on. The same reasoning for, like it was on the sides, when this is too long, it's a terrible example. But, same reasoning for the sides. You know, everyone's long arm will only go up so high. So if you allow for us to have extra room, then it just allows us to quilt your quilt top better, and easier and faster. I can quilt it on here. Like, I know my mother has sent me a quilt top and backing that only had like 1 inch or 2, because she ran out of fabric, and since she's my mother, well, of course you can send that to me. I'll quilt it, but I prefer not to. So I can do it, and I'm sure other long armors can do it, but it takes a lot more time. And if you've ever tried quilting, even on your domestic machine, and you don't have enough backing fabric, you know how frustrating it is. So I hope this helps. Does anyone have any questions on sending a quilt to a long armor? I was just quilting this, you have to treat your mom social. I know, and since she's my mom, sorry, I'm sniffly. It was a snow day today, but, and since she's my mom, I'll quilt whatever she sends to me, so, and I won't complain too much to her, but, I hope this is helpful, but, you know, that's why we need the extra inches, and we're not just trying to be mean and make you spend more money. I mean, I'm sure the quilt shops like it that we require more, because then they can get more, you know, they can sell more fabric. But, you know, if you just take these couple steps for your backing and your batting, it really does make a difference for your long armor. So, does anyone, before I go and watch another Star Wars movie with my boys on this snow day, does anyone have any other questions about sending quilts to a long armor? I'd be happy to answer. Here, I'll even unroll this quilt while I wait a couple more seconds. So sorry if you're getting dizzy. Oh, now Ozzy's here too. Hi, Ozzy. This one was just a cute baby quilt. Oh, I forgot to send on my thing. Sorry. Love the backing fabric. Thanks, Mom. I had it in my stash to go along with this quilt. It's not even from the same line, but it matched perfectly. So here, y'all can see this quilt. So this was just a cute, Mom, was I correct? This was a Moda fabric. I thought it was Moda. I don't think the backing is, but it was just a cute little panel, and then we cut it up and pieced it. So yeah, Moda. So okay, well, if y'all have any other questions about sending your quilt to a Long Armor, or just any questions in general, feel free to message me, ask me on Twitter, or, you know, email me at jamie@sunflower-quilts.com, and I'd be happy to help answer any questions. Or if you have a quilt, I'd be happy to quilt it for you. So I guess that's it. Star Wars, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!